Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video here to take you guys through some inZOI updates, as we do have the very first hotfix update. I'll take you guys through how the game is performing on Steam, and I do want to talk some of the dialogue around that, where I personally viewed this number a little bit disappointing, but I'll get to that in a little bit. The game is still doing very, very well. It's just it was the most wishlisted game on Steam for a little bit. I thought it was going to crack the six-figure range, but I have some input on that. And then also, I'll cover this at the end of this video. We have a letter from the inZOI team, and a very heartfelt letter. It doesn't really give us insight into the specifics about the future of the game, but I just thought it would be good to go over that and some of the background regarding the development of the game. So we'll get to that at the end of this video, but right off the bat, inZOI hotfix details. Hello creators, we would like to inform you that the following hotfix for inZOI was applied on March 29th, that is today. The fixes rolled out include fixed an issue where certain buttons would disappear after re-entering the lobby while playing the game in simplified Chinese, fixed an intermittent issue that prevented the lobby menu from functioning properly, fixed an issue where some family detail settings didn't match the values displayed in the UI, fixed an issue where the custom outfits or accessories would disappear after restarting the game. We sincerely apologize for any unexpected inconvenience these issues may have caused. Moving forward, we will continue to work towards providing a more stable and enjoyable environment for your experience. Obviously, as the game is now rolling out in early access, this is going to be the time where you see the most amount of issues reported. At least that's what you would think. This is when the game is being released to the masses. It already is a very intensive game, and I see people complaining and bugging out about the performance in the Steam review section. I do know that there's a lot of people, and I even saw this on my comments section, that they're going into playing this game with like a GTX 1660 and GPUs that were included in pre-built computers probably 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago, and they're just trying to do what they can to run the game. And yeah, if you have GPUs around that level, and I'm telling you guys, there's a lot of people that have GPUs right around that level, like the 1660 or even a GTX 1060, I would say that that is going to be one of the most prominent GPUs that people are just going to try to bulldoze inZOI with and try to brute force inZOI running. I mean, at that point, you're going to run into performance issues. And it's not only that, it's not just lower-end hardware. I meme on whenever publishers and developers put out posts, make sure your hardware requirements are up to par, because it's comical. However, this is an intensive game. It is in early access, and it is a game that targets a more casual audience. Let's be honest, inZOI is going to be a game that targets an audience that they don't know what the F an RTX 2060 is. They don't know what an RTX 3060, 4060 is. Context matters in a situation like this. Just know what you're getting yourself into when it comes to inZOI. And also, you know, there are going to be issues. It's an early access game, and if you do want to play the game, look into GeForce Now. I've seen a lot of people in my comment section also bring up that they're playing the game on GeForce Now, and they're having a good experience with that. GeForce Now is a game streaming service, so it utilizes your internet connection and streams the game to you. You need to have good internet, and there's probably going to be some input lag. However, with a game like inZOI, it's not like it's a first-person shooter. It's not like it's Counter-Strike or anything like that. The input lag isn't going to be the end of the world, and depending on your internet connection, that'll vary. But yeah, that's another way you can check out the game. But just keep in mind, it's a work in progress. I feel like I have to reiterate that. I get it, it's a $40 game, but early access games, whenever they launch, you can't assess them as if they were a full release. Yeah, it's at a price of what would be viewed as a full release by some people, although if you look at Sims with all the DLC, or if you look at, you know, Assassin's Creed Shadows, which just came out at $70, like 60, 70 bucks is generally the price games come out at. You're getting this for 40. It's gonna be a work in progress. It's gonna be an early access for probably a year plus, and they noted that, yeah, it's gonna be at least a year of this game in early access, but it could be more than that, and they're gonna take feedback and input. You have to see them actually now implement the feedback and input, but to already crap on the game, I just don't think that's right. You have to actually see how they respond to user feedback, and given that they responded to user feedback by removing de novo just like that, I feel like that's a pretty good sign and a pretty good harbinger of things to come. So with that being said, the concurrent player count is right now settling at around 75,000 as I am recording this video. It's 76,850, 7,100 Steam user reviews, 84% positive. I always like to look at metrics like this, and I gotta say, inZOI was one that I was kind of off base on. Now, this genre, the life sim genre, isn't the one that I am very well versed on as far as its consumption, the audience. I get that it's a more casual audience and certainly targets a different demographic than the games that I typically cover. I just thought on the basis that the attention surrounding the game, the fact that it is one of those games that I just thought would be able to break into the market, I thought it was going to be able to crack 100,000 players fairly easily. However, I may have underestimated the aspect of the game just gating people out of playing the game from its system requirements. And yes, I get that there are people that are upset about the fact that they can't run the game because of the system requirements. It is a catch-22 because the biggest promotional vehicle for this game, you guys, I'm telling you, is the fact that it has these impressive visuals. Would it have these impressive visuals, and could it run on a GT 1030 or laptop integrated graphics? You probably not. Probably not those old laptop integrated graphics. That probably just wouldn't have happened. And if you're just gonna do something that is gonna mimic Sims and have a visual aesthetic style that's at the level of Sims, at that point, you're eliminating that promotional vehicle that inZOI had, and I do think that would be an issue. Again, you're talking about a catch-22. I just feel like I probably underestimated the aspect of gating people out. And Sims 4 is a free-to-play game. Somebody pointed this out to me. Sims 4 is a free-to-play game, and that game's Steam concurrent player count, that hasn't gone above 100,000, I don't believe. So, you do have to factor that in. I just thought with the buzz of the initial release, it hitting early access, 100,000 would have been attainable. But let's not get it lost. This is still an incredibly successful number for any game that's coming from a new studio, even if it did have this level of attention. This is a very healthy number to start off in early access, and hopefully it'll get better and better, and it'll get optimized, and they can bring those system requirements down a little bit. I'm not saying they can get it down to the fact of it running on integrated HD graphics, but updating the game, getting it running better on a wide variety of machines. I don't know if this is a game that they'll ever get running on a deck or an ROG Ally or something like that. I just think that would be pretty difficult, and the game doesn't have controller support, so that's another can of worms that they would have to overcome. But yeah, maybe in the future with future PC game handhelds, the game gets optimized, the hardware requirements, while intensive now, in the future, 3-4 years down the line, as the IP develops, as there was more content, I'm looking at this from a long-term perspective. Yeah, you can play inZOI right now and appreciate what this game has now, but it's in early access. It still needs a lot of work. What is it going to be in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years? That's what's more exciting than anything else to me. Lastly, I do want to note the letter that was dropped on the inZOI page. I want to express my heartfelt gratitude for your overwhelming love and support that you have shown towards inZOI. I'm fully aware that due to the game's many shortcomings, some of you may have experienced crashes or found the available content lacking. I deeply apologize for any frustration this may have caused. Honestly, that is one of the best. I've covered so many games that have been in early access, and the fact that the creator is coming out right out the gate and saying this, they don't even have to. They kind of outlined what was going to be available in early access, and the standard for early access has been in place for so long. It's not their fault that, people had crazy expectations right out the gate for what was going to be available in early access, and the fact that performance issues are there. But nonetheless, I appreciate that sentiment for sure, just because we don't get that a lot in gaming. When I watch the inZOI streams done by our talented content creators, I sometimes feel as anxious as a parent watching their child's first kindergarten performance. Yet seeing them have fun makes me feel like I've gained the entire world, because I wanted to incorporate as many of your valuable ideas as possible and attempt new experiments. I understand that the game might feel unstable and incomplete at times. Even so, you continue to show warm support and the encouragement in the community, and I sincerely thank you for it. The inZOI team always keeps an eye on messages you send, and we are committed to working even harder to reciprocate your kindness. Although we may be lacking right now, we are determined to prove that this is not just an early access game that just take advantage of it. That is so awesome that they are aware that that perception exists, because that's a slippery slope that some people are just gonna skirt around, being like, they don't even want to touch that with a 10-foot pole on the base. That perception of early access games absolutely exists. I was talking to somebody on my Discord a little while ago about inZOI and the game coming to early access. They were just asking me about it, and I mentioned that the game was in early access, and the sigh that this person had on the basis that this game is in early access, that just points to how early access games do have this perception of, a lot of the times they do get a ban, a lot of the times they don't. Look at games like Palworld that have been phenomenal in early access, access, but the reality is there are so many games that come out in early access, they stay in early access for years and years, and they do kind of take advantage of the consumer, and the fact that they're coming out and saying we're committed to prove that we're not gonna do that, I feel like that's one of the best things that they could say. But nonetheless, we truly wish to communicate with you, build this game together, and remain dedicated to that promise. This project began as a small personal endeavor driven by my own enthusiasm, but with the support of Krafton and all of you, it has grown far beyond my initial expectations. While this growth is wonderful, I also feel a profound sense of responsibility that comes from your tremendous outpouring of love and support. With your encouragement, I promise to keep expanding inZOI. At the moment, our team is a bit worn out from the launch preparation, so we will be taking a short break to recharge. Once we are back with renewed energy, we plan to establish a dedicated channel on Discord where we can actively discuss and reflect on your feedback together. Our goal is to grow and evolve inZOI day by day and week by week, ensuring it becomes the best possible experience for everyone. However, I also recognize that frequent updates can sometimes introduce unexpected issues. Therefore, prioritize stability and be thorough in our internal reviews before implementing any new changes going forward. We will remain ever grateful for your support, strive to communicate more closely, and continue improving. Above all, our aim is to ensure that you can truly enjoy inZOI from the bottom of your hearts. Once again, thank you all so much for your overwhelming support. And what I love about this message is a lot of the times, again, I follow these big publishers, I follow so many games that I've read statements like this, or, you know, that should be like this after launch, and a lot of the times it feels like copy-paste PR statement, which I get it, you wanna skirt around any real disaster, but this to me, and maybe I'm just being a sucker, I feel like this actually comes from a human, and I appreciate that. I feel like there's actual emotion in a letter like this, which to me, a lot of that is missing whenever, for example, a game launches as an absolute awful PC version, and then you'll just, oh, we're sorry for the performance issues, we're working on it right now. To me, I just feel like this comes from the place of treating me like a human and not just a consumer, which, again, I do appreciate, but that'll do it for me. Again, the first hotfix has rolled out, some fixes and updates rolling out with that. 75,000-ish concurrent players seems to be where the game is settling at for now, and again, love that message over on the inZOI page, so good stuff there as well. That'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate it if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.